ready for the finals next week, bro? That's gonna be pretty hard next week if you don't study, you know. Hey, but did you also hear about the football game last night too? Dude, so one of those dudes got freaking killed, bro.
Somebody died?
Nah, they didn't actually die.
So we just saw an example of selective listening. The definition of selective listening is taking in only bits and pieces of information that are immediately salient during interpersonal encounter and dismissing the rest. So to overcome selective listening, it's good to try to make eye contact. Like there was no eye contact going on in the video that we just saw. And to also overcome it, you can repeat what they say to make sure that you're getting the whole story and not just bits and pieces. So if he was repeating everything that he was saying, then he wouldn't have just picked up on the last part of the story.
We just saw an example of eavesdropping. Eavesdropping is when people intentionally and systematically set up situations so they can listen to private conversations. People occasionally say spiteful, hurtful things they don't really mean, simply to impress others, fit in, or draw attention to themselves. Eavesdropping is both inappropriate and unethical. The effects of eavesdropping can be personally damaging.
When I got in my car, I realized I forgot my coffee. So then I had to go to Starbucks. Isn't that crazy? So after going to Starbucks, and I realized I was out of gas. So then I had to go to the gas station. And then I was so late to class, I didn't even want to walk into class because it was so embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a totally crazy day. It was like the worst day ever.
We have just seen a video on pseudo-listening. Pseudo-listening is behaving as if you're paying attention, though you're really not. Pseudo-listening is obviously an effective way to listen because it prevents us from attending or to understand information coming from the other person. Thus, we can't recall the encounter later. Pseudo-listening should be avoided. To avoid pseudo-listening, do your best to be a part of the conversation and be an active listener by maintaining eye contact, nodding your head, and give responses when appropriate.
Guess what?
What?
Ashley and John just broke up for the third time.
Really?
Yeah, and I think this is my chance to come in and bring her back where she belongs, right next to my side.
Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. You know that's not a good idea.
I still love her, and I know.
No, that is not a good idea. You know this.
But deep down, I know
No,
she still loves me
no,
back.
she doesn't. You know she doesn't. That's a horrible idea. You need to stop. Just get that idea out of your head right now.
Here we just saw an example of aggressive listening. People who engage in aggressive listening attend to what others say solely to find an opportunity to attack their conversational partners. People who consistently use listening to ambush others think less favorably about themselves, experience lower marital satisfaction, and may experience more physical violence in their relationships. We saw in the conversation how he was sharing his feelings with his friend, and she got mad at him when he did express his feelings openly. If you find yourself being aggressive, try dealing with the root cause of your aggression. Avoid being an aggressive listener because it will only escalate the aggression.
Yeah, I just got my grades back yesterday, bro, and I got a C in my English class.
Oh, for real? That class was pretty easy. I got an A, I think.
For real?
Yeah. You didn't get a good grade?
Nah, bro, that teacher doesn't really like me.
Oh, yeah. It seems to like me a lot more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Here we just saw an example of narcissistic listening. Narcissistic listening is self-absorbed listening. The perpetrator ignores what others have to say and redirects the conversation to him or herself and his or her own interests. People who engage in narcissistic listening provide positive feedback as long as they are the center of conversational attention. but the moment the topic switches to something other than themselves, they give negative feedback. We saw in the video how the two friends were having a conversation and one friend was trying to make it more about themselves. To avoid narcissistic listening, allow the conversation to focus on topics other than you and your own interests and offer positive feedback when such topics are discussed.